Welcome to Quiet Earth. Take a moment to settle in. Allow your shoulders to soften, your breath to slow, and your attention to gently drift toward the natural world. Put aside this time to relax, unwind, unplug, and deepen your knowledge in a calm and relaxed way. You don't need to be anywhere, only here with me. Today, we are going to follow one of the oldest journeys on our planet. The journey of water. Water is always moving. It falls from the sky, seeps into the ground, gathers into rivers, freezes into ice, drifts through the air, and returns once again to the sea. This continuous movement is called the water cycle. Every drop you have ever seen in a glass, a river, a cloud, or a tear has likely traveled this path for millions, even billions of years. It was traveling that path long before humans existed, before forests grew tall, before mountains reached their present shapes. Water was already circling the planet in a quiet, endless loop. Tonight, or today, we will follow that loop slowly, step by step, from ocean to sky, from cloud to soil, from glacier to stream, and back again. There is no rush. Water itself never hurries. From space, Earth appears blue. Vast oceans cover about 70% of the planet's surface, giving it the nickname the Blue Planet. Most of this water is salty ocean water, deep and ancient. Some ocean basins are so vast and deep that sunlight never reaches the bottom. But water is not confined to only the oceans. It exists in many forms and places. It exists in rivers that wind through valleys, in lakes that reflect the sky, in soil beneath forests and fields, in glaciers that move slowly like frozen rivers, in clouds drifting thousands of meters above the ground, and inside every living thing, including you. Your body is mostly water. The blood moving through your veins, the cells in your tissue, even the moisture in your breath are part of the same planetary system. Water is not separate from life. It is life's foundation. Part 2. Evaporation. water rises. Our journey begins where most of Earth's water resides, the ocean. When sunlight warms the surface of the sea, it transfers energy to the water. Some molecules gain enough energy to break free from the liquid below and rise into the air as vapor. This is evaporation. It is invisible, silent, and constant. Billions of tiny water molecules lift away from the surface every second, forming an upward flow of moisture. Evaporation also happens on lakes, rivers, wetlands, and even damp soil. After rain falls, the ground slowly releases moisture back into the air. If you have ever seen a puddle disappear after a sunny day, you have just witnessed evaporation at its finest. Plants contribute too, through a process called transpiration, where water is absorbed by the roots and travel through stems and leaves, eventually escaping as vapor through tiny openings on the surface of the leaf. A forest, in effect, breathes water into the atmosphere. Together, evaporation and transpiration move enormous quantities of water skyward each day. This combined process is sometimes called evapotranspiration. Part 3. Condensation. Clouds are born. As water vapor rises, the air around it becomes cooler. Cooler air cannot hold as much moisture, so the vapor begins to transform back into tiny liquid droplets. This is condensation. Each droplet forms around a microscopic particle, a speck of dust, a grain of salt from the ocean, or even pollen carried in by the wind. Millions upon millions of these droplets cluster together to form clouds. Clouds may look solid from a distance, but they are mostly empty space filled with drifting droplets and ice crystals. Condensation also creates dew on grass, fog in valleys, and the mist that forms near waterfalls. It is water quietly returning to its liquid state, preparing for the next stage of its journey. Part 4. Precipitation. Water returns to Earth. When cloud droplets grow large enough, gravity begins to pull them downward towards the Earth. They fall as precipitation. Precipitation can take many forms. Soft rain that nourishes soil, heavy downpours that swell rivers, snow that blankets landscapes in quiet white, sleet and hail formed in turbulent storms. Each falling drop is part of a much larger story, water returning to the surface after traveling through the sky. Rain feeds rivers and lakes. Snow stores water in frozen form, releasing it slowly as it melts in the warmer seasons. In mountainous regions, snowpack acts like a natural reservoir, sustaining streams long after winter has concluded. Part 5. Infiltration and groundwater. Not all precipitation flows away on the surface. Some of it soaks into the ground, slipping between grains of sand and soil. This process is called infiltration. Underground, water moves slowly through layers of earth and rock, filling spaces known as aquifers. These hidden reservoirs can hold water for years, decades, or even centuries. Groundwater quietly sustains springs, wetlands, and many rivers, especially during dry periods. When you drink from a well, you may be tasting rain that fell long before you were born. Part 6. Runoff and rivers. Water that does not soak into the ground flows downhill across the land. This surface flow is called runoff. Small rivulets merge into streams. Streams join to form rivers. Rivers travel across continents, carving valleys, transporting sediment and supporting ecosystems along their banks. Eventually, most rivers return their water to the oceans, completing one full circuit of the cycle. But the journey never truly ends. Once back in the sea, the water may evaporate again within days, or it may sink into deep ocean currents and remain there for centuries before resurfacing. Part 7. Ice, glaciers, and long-term storage. In cold regions, water can remain frozen for extremely long periods. Glaciers are massive bodies of compacted ice that form where snowfall accumulates faster than it melts. Over time, layers compress into dense ice that slowly flows downhill under its own weight. Some glacial ice contains water that fell as snow tens of thousands of years ago. When glaciers melt, they release this ancient water back into rivers and oceans, reconnecting it with the active cycle. Part 8. Water and living things. Water also travels through living organisms. Plants absorb it through roots and release it through leaves. Animals drink it and exhale moisture with every breath. Humans cook with it, wash with it, carry it across landscapes, and return it to the environment in countless ways. Every sip of water links you to rivers, clouds, oceans, and rainstorms across the globe. The water cycle has no beginning and no end. It is a continuous circulation, a planetary heartbeat that keeps ecosystems functioning and climates stable. Water rises, it cools, gathers, falls, flows, seeps, freezes, melts, and rises again. It shapes mountains, nourishes forests, fills oceans, and sustains every form of life that we know. As you rest now, remember that the same water moving through clouds and rivers is also moving through you, part of the same quiet system that has existed for billions of years. Thank you for taking this slow journey through Earth's water. May its steady rhythm bring you calm, perspective, and a deeper appreciation for the remarkable planet we call home.